So you join me here on the holiday island of Tenerife in the Atlantic Ocean, where I'm currently on vacation, obviously, but I'm going to use this as the backdrop today to talk about 10 harsh truths that nobody wants to admit in life. And I'm going to use this through the lens of my two failed attempts to reach the top of Mount Everest 10 years ago. And we'll go through these 10 steps as I wander around this beautiful but hot island off the west coast of Africa. Now, do you know what's worse than failing once? Failing twice. But now imagine failing twice on the sides of Mount Everest. That's basically my story. And it taught me some truths that most people either ignore, sugarcoat, or outright deny. So today I'm laying them bare. No guru nonsense, just hard-earned life lessons from altitude, heartbreak, and $90,000 spent, which I'd quite frankly rather forget. Now, you'll have to forgive me because I've got an incredibly raspy voice, as you can probably tell. But I did promise myself I was going to record 2 episodes while I'm here in Tenerife. So this isn't going to stop me. So let's go through these 10 truths, harsh truths about life everybody needs to hear. Now, harsh truth number 1. Life doesn't care about your plans. Now, you can plan every detail. You can train, save, prepare for years, and it'll still all go up in smoke. So in 2014, after over 20 years of dreaming, I landed at Everest Base Camp, fit, fired up, and fully focused. A week later, an ice serac the size of a mansion collapsed in the Khumbu icefall. 16 Sherpas died. The season was cancelled. Just like that. So there's a hard truth around this, and it's this. Life doesn't ask for your permission before it changes everything. We're told to make vision boards and 5-year plans, but life has its own script, and you're not always holding the pen. Harsh truth number 2. Comfort will keep you small. Nothing significant happens in the comfort zone. No great story ever started with, so I stayed on the sofa again. Now, I grew up in a working class town in the northeast of England with no elite climbing background, but I did have one thing: belief. Not in my ability to summit Everest, but in my ability to start trying. Now, the hard truth amongst this is that comfort is seductive. It whispers, stay here, it's warm. But greatness, that's found on the ice, in the dark, with those shaky legs and those frozen boots. Number 3 on the list of these 10 harsh truths that nobody in life wants to hear about is that people will laugh at your dreams. Now, when I said I wanted to climb Everest, some people genuinely thought that I'd lost it. What? You? Now, I wasn't born into adventure. I didn't even see a mountain till I was in my 20s. But your dreams aren't up for public vote. Now, the truth here, most people don't understand your dream because it's not theirs to carry. That's fine. Just don't let their confusion become your conclusion. Harsh truth number 4 is that you can do everything right and still fail. In 2015, I went back to Everest. I was better trained, mentally tougher, and more experienced. And yet, halfway up the icefall, boom, the earth shook. We were hit by a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. Avalanches thundered down around us. Once again, the mountain closed its doors. Now, the truth here is that success isn't always the reward for effort. Sometimes effort is its own reward. Sometimes the lesson isn't keep going. Sometimes it's go home, regroup, and come back stronger. Harsh truth number 5 on my list is fear. It never leaves. You just learn to deal with it. Now, I remember climbing a ladder in the icefall, 50 feet up with nothing but aluminium rungs between me and a crevasse. Now, the ladder bowed under my weight, and I thought, one wrong step here and I'll vanish. Now, that fear, it never left. I just learned to take the next step anyway. Now, the truth here is that confidence is overrated. What matters is commitment. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's carrying it like a backpack and climbing anyway. My harsh truth number 6 in this list of 10 harsh truths is that you are not the main character in everyone's story. Now, the Sherpas risk their lives every season so people like me can chase a dream. In 2014, 16 of them paid for their lives with theirs. Everest taught me humility. It's not my mountain. It never was. I was just a guest. And the harsh truth takeaway from this is that your ambition doesn't override other people's reality. Whether it's your career, your relationships, or your mountain, never forget who helps you get there. My truth number 7 is failure. And failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the price of admission. Now, failure isn't a dead end. It's the toll booth on the road to success. Now, I didn't summit, but I learned more about myself on that mountain than I ever could have if I'd got to the top and gazed out from the summit. Now, I discovered grit, perspective, and a bloody stubbornness that even altitude sickness couldn't touch. Now, the truth here is if you're not willing to risk failure, then you're not really trying. Failure isn't shameful, it's shaping you. Number 8, hardship doesn't build character, it reveals it. Now, at 6,000 meters, your excuses don't mean much. Your filters drop, you're raw, exposed. Now, I didn't become a better man on Everest. I met the man that I'd already become. When everything is stripped away, comfort, breath, ego, you find out who's been under the hood all along. My harsh takeaway truth from this point is that the storm doesn't change you, it just shows you. And sometimes you don't like what you see. And if that's the case, that's your cue to grow. As I get close to the end of this list here, my number 9 in these 10 harsh truths that nobody wants to admit is, for me, the world celebrates the summit, but the magic is in the climb. So what does that mean? Well, no one asks about the acclimatization hikes or the frozen boots or even the diarrhea at base camp. Yes, Everest is humbling in more ways than one. People want summit photos, but real transformation doesn't happen on top. It happens on the way up when no one's clapping. That's why my book was called Everest, It's Not About the Summit. When it's just you and your next step, that's all that counts. Now, the truth here is stop chasing applause. Chase growth. The world may celebrate your peak, but your soul is built in the valleys and those switchbacks. And finally, my harsh 10, number 10 in this list of the 10 harsh truths in life nobody wants to admit is this. You've got one life, use it. Standing in the icefall with crevasses yawning on both sides of me and death literally crackling underfoot, I realised that this isn't a practice run, and it wasn't a practice run. There are no do-overs in life, and yet most people live like they've got all the time in the world. Now, the final truth here in this list is that you are not guaranteed tomorrow. So whatever your Everest is, start climbing, book the flight, make the call, write the book, leave the dead-end job, do the thing. I didn't summit Everest, but I discovered something higher, truth. Not the kind you read in a book, the kind that you earn with blood, sweat and broken crampons. So if you've got something from this video today, give it a little like maybe, and even share it with someone who's probably stuck in their own base camp. And remember, whatever your Everest is, it's not about the summit. It's about the climb. So that's it for me today, here from the beautiful island of Tenerife in the Atlantic Ocean. Costa Rica is the resort. It's 26 degrees. I can feel the sweat dripping down my back. It's holiday season. It's time to go up to the hotel and possibly have a sangria or two. And I'll see you on my next video. Keep wondering and keep wandering. Oh, before I go, one more thing. If you've enjoyed this style of video today, you might like watching this one next on how to stop feeling like giving up in life.
I packed my hope in silence under skies of stone and fear. 1,000 steps from nowhere, but my reason led me here. The mountain never called me, I just heard it in my soul. Not chasing flags of glory, but to try and climb back home. They said the top will change you, but I was changed long before. In the echoes of my heartbeat and the cracks beneath each floor. Cause the summit, it isn't the end. It's the breath you fight to take. It's the fall and how you rise. With every scar and every ache, you don't measure life in highs. You count it step by trembling step. The summit isn't the end. It's the courage not to forget. I stood and froze in silence while the ice began to weep. Watched a dream slip through the ridgeline and fall into the deep. But there's beauty in the breaking, and the truth no one can fake. You find heaven in the trying, even if the dream won't wait.